Startling allegations this morning from a military attorney who represented an inmate at Guantanamo Bay. She says to get information, her client was tortured, and she calls waterboarding just the tip of the iceberg. Our Jim Acosta live in Washington with details. It's a very troubling story, Jim.
It really is, John. And, you know, government documents show 28 CIA detainees were subjected to harsh interrogation techniques. But a military attorney for one detainee who was freed from Guantanamo told us in her first on-camera interview in the U.S. she believes there may be more, and we should warn our viewers, some of what you're about to hear is graphic. What you're saying is that waterboarding is only the beginning.
Absolutely. It's the tip of the iceberg.
Air Force Reserve Lieutenant Colonel Yvonne Bradley says she came to that conclusion as a lifelong Republican who never had questioned the war on terror when she was appointed the military attorney for Guantanamo detainee Binyam Mohammed. You thought, well, this is a terrorist I'm dealing with.
I absolutely did. I mean, my government was saying these were the worst of the worst.
A British resident originally from Ethiopia, Mohammed was detained by U.S. authorities in Pakistan right after the 9/11 attacks. Bradley says Mohammed may have attended an al-Qaeda training camp in Afghanistan.
So he may have been to a camp.
He may have been to a camp.
After Mohammed's arrest, Bradley says he was flown to Morocco, where he was drugged, beaten, and worse.
In Morocco, he also reported that they started this monthly treatment where they would come in with a scalpel or a razor type of instrument and slash his genitals just with small cuts.
Bradley says Mohammed was eventually shipped back to Afghanistan, where he wrote out this confession, admitting to training at an al-Qaeda camp and discussing plans for a dirty bomb. When asked if he had been abused, he wrote no.
You think he confessed to all of these things after he was tortured?
There's no reliable evidence that Mr. Mohammed was going to do anything to the United States.
Late last year, a military commissions judge dropped the charges against Mohammed. On his third day in office, President Obama ordered Mohammed released from Guantanamo, a move blasted by one group representing military families.
When we release these detainees, when we release these terrorists, we put America and we put America's allies in more danger.
Mohammed told the BBC he is trying to move on.
It's been 7 years of literal darkness that I've been through, that coming back to life is taking me some time.
Yvonne Bradley believes there are other former and current detainees on the same journey.
You feel comfortable saying that in a U.S. military uniform?
I do, because I raised my hand to protect the Constitution of the United States. This has nothing to do about national security. It has to do with national embarrassment.
Now, the judge in Mohammed's case did not give a reason for dropping the charges, and the Pentagon is not commenting on the matter. The Justice Department did refer us to its statement on Mohammed's release, that it's consistent with the national security and foreign policy interests of the United States and the interests of justice. A special task force is now reviewing whether to release dozens of other detainees. John.
Obviously, a story we'll probably hear a lot more about. Jim Acosta for us this morning from Washington. Jim, thanks. Karen?
You bet.